Hello, everybody. My name is Eugenio. I currently live in Chicago, Illinois, where I am a bilingual learning facilitator at Shed Aquarium. So what that means is I go to schools and I teach lessons in wildlife conservation, biodiversity, with students ages from like 5 years old all the way to like 18 years old. And I do all sorts of topics, including animal conservation. Sometimes I may go to their classroom. Sometimes I'm at the aquarium behind the scenes and they get to see an animal from their classroom online. And sometimes I am out in nature. And that's actually my favorite part of the job, taking students out in nature and showing them the beautiful wild animals that live in the Chicago parks and in Illinois and the Midwest and the Great Lakes. That is by far my absolute favorite part of it all. But before that, I used to live in Milwaukee. That's where I went to college. I was able during my time as a college student to go to South Africa and Costa Rica. And in both places, I did a lot of animal behavior research, which I really, really, really enjoyed. It was really fantastic. I worked with elephants to make sure that they, when I was in South Africa, to test if bee pheromones could be utilized. So that is essentially the chemical recipe of the smell produced by bees. If that could be used as a deterrent to prevent elephants from like entering urban areas. And we kind of tested with socks. It was actually really funny. We would hang socks around a water hole and there would be like the smell of ants, the smell of bees, and we would kind of test how they would react to each one. And of course the control that had no smell. So that was super, super interesting to test and see. And then I was able to collect behavioral data on white-faced capuchins and study their hierarchy at a wildlife sanctuary in Costa Rica. Through those experiences, I really fell in love with animals. My favorite animal is the lion, but I also really love African wild dogs. And as of now, I also love birds. I love birds. And when I was in South Africa and Costa Rica, I was really obsessed with mammals. But I feel that through my coworkers at Shed Aquarium and doing this outdoor education programs, taking students to parks, I've fallen in love with birds. And I love birds so much. It's my favorite hobby. I go birding at least a few hours each day. I find some time to sneak it in, and I love it so much. My favorite bird is by far owls. I love owls, and I'm just so happy because here in Illinois, we get up to 7 species of owls, including the snowy owl, particularly here in Chicago, which I was able to see this winter. And I think something that will allow me to be a good conservationist is definitely my empathy for other people, because I used to live in Italy as well, and in South Africa and Costa Rica I spent 7 weeks, and I'm originally from Mexico and moved to the US when I was 15. So I think a lot of this international cultural experiences give me a really good background on how to educate people in conservation. I have a strong science background and a strong cultural background, and I can combine both backgrounds to use it on education and understand what are some of those cultural barriers and those barriers that exist between cultures that may not make conservation as easily accessible. So I think that's definitely one thing that gives me an edge, and that will help me participate in this program, but also gain insights and learn better and understand where things are coming from. I think that'll be very easy, because just saying out the science out loud is not going to do anything. It's not going to do much or anything. You need to be able to understand the cultural context to then communicate that science. So I think that's something where I can come in handy. Not only cultural context, very like situational as well. So I'm very excited to do this. The reason why I wanted to do this is because I wanted to keep traveling, because I love traveling. As I said, I've lived in 5 countries, but I also really love traveling in general. So I think being able to do that is going to be very nice. Again, and do it for something that is not tourism. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this master's in particular, but also grow in skills and grow in mindset. And I'm very excited to go to Brazil, and I really hope that I get to learn from you all.